All right, music lovers, get ready, because we're going deep on the 2025 Grammys.
That's right.
So if you're here, you're probably either planning a watch party, maybe you just really love music.
People want to know all about it.
Yeah, exactly. And what's really interesting this year is how the Grammys are kind of facing this wildfire situation in LA.
Yeah.
Our main source is this Forbes article breaking down all the viewing options.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to go way beyond that. You're going to learn some stuff you didn't know before. And we'll even talk about how you can watch the show for free.
For free?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Totally. So
Yeah.
First, the Grammys this year are going to have kind of a different feel because of these devastating wildfires. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really commendable that the Recording Academy is still doing the show,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But they're really shifting the focus to raising money for relief efforts.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, okay, Grammys 101 real quick. 67th Annual Grammy Awards.
This 7th,
Happening this Sunday,
Yes.
February 2nd,
this Sunday.
5 p.m. Pacific,
Right.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Don't miss it.
From the Crypto.com arena in L.A.
And hosted by
Trevor Noah.
our favorite.
They're the 5th year in a row.
5 years.
He's a veteran at this point, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about like who the big nominees are this year. I mean, Beyoncé's leading the pack, right?
Oh, yeah.
With 11 nominations. Is that a record?
That is a new record for her.
What is it?
She's up for Album of the Year, for Renaissance Song of the Year, for Break My Soul, and Record of the Year for that same track.
So she could really sweep the awards this year.
We'll see what happens.
Wow. All right, well, besides Beyoncé, we got to talk about Kendrick Lamar. His album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, has been getting so much attention.
Yeah.
7 nominations.
That's right.
I mean, I feel like his lyrics are so socially conscious. Do you think that's going to resonate with voters this year?
You know, the Academy has been more open to recognizing music that addresses, you know, tough social topics.
Oh, sure.
So I think it'll resonate.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, it's interesting. A lot of the nominees this year are actually from California.
Right.
So this wildfire situation is really hitting close to home for them.
Yeah, like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
She's up for Album of the Year for Happier Than Ever. She's from L.A.
And Post Malone, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Post Malone has a few nominations, and he lives in Southern California.
Do you think we'll see anyone giving speeches about the wildfires?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That would be pretty moving.
Okay, so we talked about nominees. Now let's get practical.
Yes.
How can people actually watch the show? If you have cable, it's easy, right?
Tune in to CBS Sunday night.
Done.
But for people who don't have cable, there are a lot of streaming options this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me everything.
So there's Paramount Plus with Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be streaming the whole thing live.
Okay.
But that's if you have the premium subscription.
Gotcha.
If you have the essential plan, you have to wait till the next day.
Interesting. So a lot of people are going to want to watch it live, I think. What if you don't have Paramount Plus, though? Are there other options for streaming?
Well, there are a bunch of live TV streaming services that offer free trials,
Oh, free trials.
right? So if you're a new subscriber, you could do like DirecTV Stream. They have a 5-day free trial.
5
Hulu Plus Live TV has 3 days,
Uh-huh.
and Fubo gives you a whole week.
A whole week.
Yeah,
That's pretty generous.
it is.
So even if you don't have cable or Paramount Plus, you could still watch the Grammys live
Yeah,
for free.
you're free.
Amazing.
If you time it right, you know, you can do the free trial just for the Grammys and then cancel before you have to pay.
That's the classic free trial hack.
Worked every time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I think you mentioned another free option before, something about Paramount Plus and Showtime.
Yeah, if you sign up for a free trial of Paramount Plus with Showtime, you can watch the Grammys totally free.
Okay.
And that's a 7-day free trial, so plenty of time to enjoy the show.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
to recap, for everyone listening, you can watch on CBS with cable, Paramount Plus with Showtime Live, if you have premium next day, if you have Essential,
Uh-huh.
or do a free trial from one of those streaming services.
That's right.
Did I get it all?
You got it.
Okay, good.
But remember, if you use a free trial, maybe think about donating to wildfire relief.
Yeah,
It's a way to support the people who've been affected and enjoy the show at the same time.
totally. Watching the Grammys is great, but let's not forget about the bigger picture,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
So we talked about all the ways you can watch the show,
Right.
but now let's get into like the real meat of the Grammys, the nominations.
Yes.
I mean, Beyoncé's obviously the queen with 11 nominations,
Mhm.
but are there any nominations that really stood out to you?
You know, the Best New Artist category is always interesting.
Yeah.
And this year we have some new faces, like Benson Boone.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. And Doechii. And then some more established names like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, she's been around for a while.
She has.
Yeah.
But this is her first Grammy nomination.
It shows how the music industry is changing, like how artists can break through in so many ways.
Absolutely.
And speaking of breaking through, have you noticed a lot of the nominated albums this year are like genre bending?
Yeah.
Like Charlie XCX's Crash.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
It's pop, it's electronic.
Yeah.
It's even got some rock influences.
It seems like genre lines are getting blurrier.
Totally.
And I think we're going to see that in the performances, too.
Oh, for sure.
This is such an exciting time for music because artists can really experiment.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so have you seen the performance lineup for the Grammys?
Oh, yeah.
It is stacked.
It's incredible.
John Legend,
Sheryl Crow.
Janelle Monáe, so many more.
So many.
What are you most excited for?
Oh, gosh, that's a tough one.
I know, right?
But I have to say, seeing Sheryl Crow perform with Bonnie Raitt
Oh, yeah.
in a tribute to Christine McVie,
Oh, wow.
that's going to be really special.
I didn't know about that tribute. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And, of course, we can't forget all the best new artist nominees who are performing.
Yeah.
This is their chance to really show the world what they can do.
Exactly. The Grammys have launched so many careers.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
it'll be exciting to see who this year's breakout star is.
I know, right? I'm getting hyped just thinking about it.
Me too.
But, okay, let's come back down to earth for a second and talk about the wildfires again.
Yeah.
We mentioned how the Grammys are trying to help with relief efforts.
Uh-huh.
Are there any nominees who have been really active in supporting people affected by the fires?
Well, Billie Eilish, being from L.A.,
Yeah.
she's been using social media to encourage people to donate,
That's great.
to raise awareness. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's amazing how these artists can use their platform to really make a difference.
It really is. And it's not just about the money,
Right.
It's about speaking up about supporting the people who are going through this.
Totally. And the music community has always been great at coming together during tough times.
For sure.
So do you know of any other nominees besides Billie Eilish who are involved in wildfire relief?
Well, the Recording Academy itself actually has this foundation called Music Cares.
Music Cares.
Yeah, and they help music people who are struggling.
Oh,
So they've been helping people affected by the wildfires.
that's amazing.
Offering financial assistance, mental health support, all sorts of things.
Wow, I didn't know that about Music Cares. That's incredible.
Yeah, they're doing great work.
So even beyond like the fundraising stuff during the Grammys,
Right.
the Recording Academy is really committed to helping people through this.
They understand that this has been really tough for a lot of musicians and crew members and everyone in the industry.
It's really heartwarming to hear,
It is.
It's more than just an award show. It's a community that cares.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about nominations, performers, wildfire relief, but I have one more question for you.
Okay.
What are your bold predictions for Grammy night?
Ooh, bold predictions.
I love it. I know, right?
Okay, well, I think we might see some surprises in the major categories. Beyonce's a front runner, but I have a feeling Kendrick Lamar's album.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah, that one might win Album of the Year.
Really?
It's gotten such amazing reviews,
It has.
and it tackles these big, important social issues, and the Academy seems to be recognizing that more and more.
That would be a huge win for Kendrick.
It would.
Okay, so what about Best New Artist?
Hmm.
Any dark horses you think could win?
I'm really curious about Doechii.
Doechii.
Her music is so different and unique.
I'll have to check her out.
Yeah, and she has a lot of fans already, so if the voters want something really fresh, she could be the one.
Interesting. Okay, I'm adding her to my playlist right now.
Do it.
Any other bold predictions?
I predict that someone will mention the wildfires in their acceptance speech.
Oh, yeah.
Such a big deal in California right now.
Yeah.
I think the Grammys will be a platform for artists to show their support.
Yeah, I think you're right. It would be a really powerful moment.
It would remind everyone that even with all the excitement of the Grammys, these real-world problems are still happening.
Exactly. And the artists have a chance to use their platform to help.
They do.
Okay. I am officially so excited for Sunday night.
Me too.
The nominations are exciting. The performances are going to be amazing. And the wildfire relief efforts just add this whole other layer of meaning to it.
It's going to be a night to remember for sure.
All right, so before we wrap up, I have one last thing to leave our listeners with. Okay, so all this talk about the Grammys and these wildfires.
Uh-huh.
It's making me think about like the bigger picture,
Yeah,
how is the music industry changing and adapting to all these new challenges.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, think about it. Just a few years ago, it was all about record sales and MTV.
Right.
And now it's all about streaming numbers and TikTok trends and online fan communities.
Totally. Like the way we listen to music is totally different now.
Completely.
And I think that's reflected in the Grammy nominees this year, right?
I think so.
Like you have Beyoncé with Renaissance, which is, a classic album
It's
experience.
a full album.
And then you have Charlie XCX, who's built this huge following online by releasing singles and collaborating with everyone.
Yeah, her album Crash is a good example of how artists are kind of blending all these different sounds and styles these days.
Yeah, it's like two different approaches to music are coming together at the Grammys.
That's a good way to put it.
So do you think voters are going to go for that classic album experience, or are they going to reward the artists who are pushing boundaries and trying new things?
That's the big question.
I know, right?
It'll be interesting to see how the Academy balances those two things.
Yeah.
Recognizing the legends, but also celebrating the new artists.
Okay, so let's play a little prediction game.
All right.
Do you think any of the winners will use their speeches to talk about the wildfires or other, social issues?
Oh, I think it's very likely, especially with the Recording Academy focusing on wildfire relief this year.
Yeah.
It would be weird if no one mentioned it.
And remember, Billie Eilish has already been talking about the wildfires online.
Right.
So if she wins, I bet she'll say something.
I think so, too. And it's not just the winners either.
Yeah.
Even the nominees and the presenters, they all have this opportunity to speak up and raise awareness.
Totally. It's really amazing how the music community comes together to support each other,
It shows that music is more than just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a way to connect with people and make a difference in the world.
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, when you're watching the Grammys on Sunday, pay attention to those moments that go beyond the awards.
Yeah.
Listen to the speeches, the tributes, any little references to the wildfires.
Those are the moments where you really see what the music community is all about.
Yeah, you see that they really care.
Exactly. The Grammys are a celebration of music, but they can also be a way to start important conversations and encourage people to do good.
Well said. I think we've officially covered everything about the 2025 Grammys.
I think so.
We talked about how to watch the show, we analyzed the nominations, we debated who might win, and we even talked about how this year's Grammys are connected to this wildfire crisis.
It's been a real deep dive.
It has. We went beyond the surface and really explored what makes the Grammys so special.
Absolutely. And hopefully we gave our listeners a new way to think about the show.
Yeah, exactly. So when you tune in on Sunday, remember everything we talked about.
Yeah.
Think about how the music industry is changing the power of artists' voices and how music can help people heal and make a difference.
And most importantly, enjoy the show.
Yes, enjoy the show. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
We'll be back next week with a brand new topic to explore.
See you then.
Until then, keep those playlists fresh and stay curious.